welcome to part 2. So, I've been doing some homework since you last tuned in, and hello peeps, just remember to do that. Okay, so what have we got? I connected everything up. Now, it looks more complicated than what it is, and I will say that twice in a minute. Now, you have to put these are the horns here, you put your horns on like this, okay, and on the underneath you have to get a star-shaped horn, cut off the other two horns because you don't need them, and attach them here to the one underneath, which is marked ailerons. Okay, now you then take your RX or your receiver, okay, and just to help out, I've made a little plan here. Now, when you look at the receiver board, and this is for the overhead camera now, and I'm pretty sure it's in shot, this connection here is the throttle, this connection here is the rudder, this connection here is the elevator, and this connection here is the aileron. Now, what I'd like you to do is freeze frame that and make your own little drawing, okay? Because when you come to plug this in, you won't know which one's which. So I've taken all that pain away for you. Now, direction of travel. Once you've bound your radio, and I use Spectrum NX8, okay, bind the receiver to the radio, okay. Obviously you plug in your battery, which hopefully you've charged, and you're going to want to know which direction these horns should travel. Now, if you're using salves, do not connect the salves just yet, okay? Just put that to one side. You set it all up without the salves. I'll come to the salves in a minute. Now, if you're turning right aileron, okay, that will travel in that direction, okay, because what it's doing is pushing the elevator up, making the right wing go down, the left wing will come up. So if you want to turn left, that fork will go to the left, okay, because now you're pushing, sorry, you're pushing this elevator up to make that wing go down. Hang on, that's the wrong way around, isn't it? Let me just double check that. Hang on, turning right. Yeah, so that it'll go that way, and if you turning left, it'll go make that one go that way. So that's the wrong way around. I apologise. I wouldn't mind, but I've even marked it that way. So you got to reverse that one. You got to reverse that one. Now to reverse it, I've left that in as well. How about that? To reverse it, I don't know particularly about other radios, but what you do, you go into your menu, servo setup, and then it'll list here travel. You click on that, change it to reverse, scroll the wheel down till you get to rudder, and then just click on it and it reverses it, and then just go back to the list, the main menu, okay, and then you, oh, that was ailerons. What am I doing? What am I doing? Changing the rudder around like that? Absolutely. I'll tell you what, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. Change it around. It's aileron you've got to reverse. Okay, go back to your main. What's it? Okay, so what happens is that if you're now, if you got this so that it's the right way up, and you're turning right, that needs to go this way, which then tilts the right aileron up, brings the right wing down, and consequently the left wing will go up. Okay, so just double checking, turning left. Okay, going left, that pushes the left aileron up, forcing the wing down, and it banks that way. And if you turn right on the aileron, it pushes that aileron up and it banks that way. Okay, now I'm just going to readjust the centering the aileron, because I wanted to get it central before and I've used up a lot of trim to do this. As a matter of fact, let's take it back to the center. Okay, now I can probably take that one click over. Might just get away with it because I've changed it now, and that means I can maybe just click it once over from the central position. I centralized everything on the trim because you're stuck between one click and another click. Pull that out. Central as I can possibly make it in my old eyes. I can always take it back up on the trim again. Yeah, it's still a little bit. It needs to go one click over. Gently pull it off. I don't think I'm going to win on this. No, I'm going to take it up on the slack with the trim. So okay, yeah, I got some left over, so I'll leave it like that. So you get everything central. Put your screw in. There you go. Then just check the rest of the directions. So the elevator, you're pulling that back. So if you're pulling that back, that means the elevator comes down, which means that horn's got to go. Yeah, pulling that back. So you want the elevator to go up, so that will push the elevator up. So that is the correct position. Going down, it'll go in that direction. Okay, so this is up, that's down. Okay, so that's the correct orientation. Rudder, that goes, the horn goes on the left hand side of the rudder, so that means if you pull it, you need to pull it to turn left, which is correct. You need to push it to turn right, so that's the correct orientation. So right is that way, yeah, left is that way. Okay, and that's up and that's down. All right, this is banking right, yeah, that's right, and banking left. So there you go. So best to check it from that orientation. Banking right, which is pushing that aileron up, yeah, so that brings you to the right. And there's left, which pushing that aileron up, which will then bank it left. So there you got your correct orientation. Sorry about that. I don't know why I flipped out there. Strange. Anyway, there you go. It happens from time to time. So I'm going to leave that in rather than re-record it. So it just goes to show we're all human. Now, with the motor, I am very pleasantly surprised with this. This is very powerful. I didn't expect it to be as powerful as this. We've got free movement there. Now, that ESC, or if you like speed controller, goes into that socket there, okay? And then obviously that there goes into the battery. Now, you've got a white lead and a blue lead. I believe in America, that white is neutral. In the UK it's black and positive is red. So blue is a phase colour. But in America I believe that white is neutral. It doesn't tell you on this side, but I believe that is the way it is. Now, you're going to want the air to go in this way and come out that way. So air in, air out. So you put throttle on, and I can feel, see that? The air's coming out the back. Now this is how powerful this is, right? I'm going to try and put it on full throttle. Look at that. Yeah, it's blowing off the table across. So that is pretty powerful. Now, to get your once you've got your orientation of the impeller moving correctly, and which way is it moving? It's moving anti-clockwise. Okay, that's moving anti-clockwise. So what I've done is, with this speed controller, if I just unplug it, you see I've painted that plug blue. It's a light blue. It's the first one I put my hand on, and this one is white. Painted that white, so you can't get the orientation wrong. So without having to check it or anything, you'll just know it's color coded, and you just can't plug it in the wrong way. So that's the Baron's topical tip, and just to make sure that's correct. Yeah. Okay. Now the other thing is, when you're setting this up, on your throttle trim tab, pull the trim for the throttle all the way down, because that motor won't work. You'll think, why isn't this motor working, even though it's not trimmed or anything. With these kind of motors, you need to bring that trim all the way down, and then you'll be at 0, and then there you go, it'll start working all of a sudden, and you get a full throw on it. So that's that part. Now, bringing this piece of paper back, which has the shopping list on that side. No wonder she can't find the shopping list. I've got it. So, oh, these things do come to tries, don't they? So, right, now the salves. Now, when you come to do the salves, what I'm going to do is disconnect. Now, once you've got it all set up, you shouldn't need to touch anything. Okay, so disconnect your battery. Okay, and I'm going to turn the radio off. Right. Now, you'll see on this board, I don't know what, I'll use this as a pointer. You got some switches. Okay. Now, I'm taking this as verbatim. You'll see these switches shown here. This is this one here, P80 Shooting Star, and it lists all the other aircraft, and it shows you what position to put the switches in. So you'll see on the bottom here 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the top it's got on, and then KE. I'm not sure what KE stands for exactly, but you've got to put number 1, number 2, and number 3 up to the on position, number 4 down on the off position. Okay, so that's what I've done. I'm taking their word for it, because I've not used their system before, so I am having to read up on it. You do get a manual. It's not that difficult to understand, to be honest with you. It's pretty well straightforward, and it says here about the settings. Now, it is, the only part I would say is in position switch 2, it's got aileron and elevator. I am presuming that means if you mix them. I'm not sure, but anyway, you just read this manual, and it's okay. You can understand it. It's nothing too difficult. So although it looks complicated, it actually isn't. So what you got to do now, also on the Servos, or the PCB board if you like, it does say ELE elevator and AIL aileron. So what you got to do, you got to go to the receiver, and because we have our little drawer in here, we know which one's which. Okay, so you take out the elevator, which is this one. Okay, and you take out the aileron, which is this one. Okay, so the elevator, aileron. Okay, and what you do, you plug, because they're marked, this one being the aileron, this one here on your Servos, you know that's the aileron there, and making sure you got your pins the right way around before you push it in. Connect that into receiver. The only one left is the elevator, so that must go in there. Just make sure you got the right orientation on your pins. Yeah, don't force these things, be gentle with them. Okay, just press them in, and then what you do now, I have to tidy up all this cabling. What you do, you take the aileron, okay, and you'll see it'll say aileron there. You plug the aileron into aileron, and making sure your orientation of the pins are correct. Goes in that way around. Just gently push it in. The only one left now is the elevator. Okay. Where am I? Lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay. And ELE, orientation of the pins, that's at the top. Gently push that in. Okay. And then what you do, you'll have to decide where to mount this. But basically what they're telling you is to mount it towards the nose and making absolutely flat and level for that to work and engage properly. And this end is the front, so that points towards the nose, so it goes like that. Okay, and it has to be flat and it has to be level, otherwise it won't work correctly and you probably end up pranging your plane. Okay, so I think that's probably half an hour now. Now what the instructions do tell you is once that's all set up, not to turn it on again, okay, until you're ready to fly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize all these cables, tie wrap them into place, ready to put the fuselage sides on. Okay, so that's going to get all tidied up, and we'll move on to the next part in part 3. I'm pretty sure that's half an hour, and I'll see you then. So as per usual, I don't get paid for this. I've got no buy me a coffee or anything like that, so please just hit the like, give it a thumbs up, share, or whatever. I can't remember now because I'm tired. I'm gonna get something that we can go to bed. Okay, so there we are, and I'll see you in part 3. Thanks for viewing. Cheerio.